So here we are, DTR Season 2, Race 2 in Division 5, and we are at a very, very wet Azerbaijan. Just before we get started, we've had some really bad news this week. Our good friend Cornell LaRue has passed away after his long battle with cancer, and we're all thinking of him. We hope he's looking down on us, and we're all going to race for him this week, sorry. And yeah, it's my heart goes out to all his family. We're all so sorry, and we all just want to put on a good show now and get racing, and yeah, that's what he would want. He's watching down on us, and we're going to put on a good show for him. So yeah. But anyway, we crack on, and we are out first with Business Hodges, who hits the wall though. He must have some a little bit of damage from that as we get everything set up at the moment. And so we got 3 drivers out on intermediate, or 4 drivers looking at intermediates, I believe, and the rest are on wet. As we'll go on an outside view and head around the track. Sue's on a lap at the moment. So D-Max 50, he was one of the quicker drivers from last week, as he heads out on his 8 lap. Hi, Ensen's in the chat. Yeah. Sorry about that, just blocking someone in the chat. So that's right. So here we go. We're all sorted now. We're all sorted as D-Max is heading down the main straight to begin his hot lap on the wet tyre. No DRS activated during this qualifying unless it dries up and goes to soft, as he comes flying down towards turn 1. So D-Max, he led most of the race last week. The last stint on mediums is where he struggled, and Benny Bruno managed to get the win as he was on softs, and that was an absolute fantastic race last week. Great start to the season, and this Division 5 is really competitive. So we've no so I believe we've got an Aston Martin driver missing. Yeah, the famous KB. He wasn't sure if he could make it this week, so his well done Josh is stepping in for him, and we will ride on board with D-Max 50 as he comes through the castle section. Tricky in the dry, even more tricky in the wet, as I think these guys may be running a dry setup if the race is going to be dry. I don't think I've ever done this track in the wet. So also we've got Groberi. He's retired. That looks like it's at turn 2. Yep, on the exit of turn 2. I'm not sure if that's coming out of the pit lane or on his hot lap, but Groberi is out without setting a time as D-Max heads down the long straight. Let's see what time he can put in. So Florian, he's on pole at the moment with a 1:58.4, and D-Max comes across with a 1:56.7. So we'll flick around the grid, see who else is on a hot lap. Well done, Josh is just in a sector 2 with 44 seconds, so we'll jump on board as he scrapes the wall there in the sector 3. That's a tricky high curb. Catching that curb can launch you into the wall, and we may see a few retirements there in today's race. In the chat, Baku in the rain, head's gone. It's a crazy track as it is, but hopefully a dry race, because it's always a great spectacle even in the dry. So we've got Gene for Messi, he's currently on P3 with the 201, with Well Done Josh just behind him, and Wardy. Wardy was unlucky to finish last week, and we've got Well Done Josh who's ran off at turn 1. It's a tricky braking zone there, and it catches many people out, including Lewis Hamilton in the past. We will head round. So Skipper's was on outlap, he's come back in, and who is on a hot lap? Pepsi Lover. So Pepsi Lover goes P4 with a 2-minute dead, and he'll be happy with that. I think he struggled last week, if I remember correctly. Got Gunnar on P3, 159. So D-Max is the man to beat at the moment with a 156. Where is Benny Boone? I'll tell you what, let's get on board with Bogorovsky. He's in sector 1 at the moment, and he's approaching turn 2 as he heads up the straight, quite a long straight, towards turn 3, 90 degree turn. Usually in the dry you'd be knocking this down to 3rd and up to 4th, but nice and tidy, steady away, avoiding the curbs, which is good, allows him good traction out of that. The car behind him was looked a little bit all over the place then, so we come through this tricky sector 2, difficult to get traction there, especially in the wet, and as we come round towards the castle section of turn 7, 8 through to 12, and this is, yeah, you've got to go slow through there, just make sure you get the traction. It's not worth crashing, especially on your first hot lap, and Bogorovsky gets through there nice and smoothly. So this is the tricky corner, avoiding this big curb here, which he does really well. Bogorovsky will be open, this will put him into round about the top 5. He's struggling at the moment, Bogorovsky not being so well, so he's driving through the pain barrier today, and we wish him a good race, and hopefully he can get into the points and get a really good result today. Got to give a shout out to Wazza as well. He's hopped into D1 today. One of the quicker drivers in D4, and he's seen how he can do there. And Bogorovsky smashes it, goes into P2 and now P3 with a 158. He'll be happy with that so far. You think he may go again? He's got plenty of heat in the tyres now after that run, and he must be able to shave off another second with hot tyres. Benny Buno is on a hot lap, an out lap, so we'll ride on board with him shortly as he begins his intermediate tyres hot lap. Going to be interesting if the wet runners are going to box and everyone's going to go for intermediate. So as the Red Bull just behind Bogorovsky hits the wall, trying to find him. It's not that Red Bull. So invalidation there from Florian as he connected with the wall. We will find Benny Buno. And so here we go. This is our race winner from last week. Had a brilliant last stint of the race on the soft tyre, managing to pull away from D-Max 50 and get the race win. We'll be looking for another good result today as well. And the Inter tyres look like it's the way to go at the moment, with top 2 times up there, and the track isn't drying out, but it's not raining heavily, I don't think. Is Benny Buno starts his hot lap to set a time. So he's looking to try and get this on pole if he can. Not sure how good he is in the wet, and this will be a big lap for him as he approaches traffic here on his hot lap. Composite moving out the way. Safe driver as always, and Benny Buno comes through turn 2. Will D-Max get out of the way? Oh, I don't know if that compromised Benny Buno or not. D-Max seemed to leave it very late there in getting out of the way. So as you come through sector 2, heading towards turn 7, here you want to cut the curb a little bit. It's going to hit the wall a little bit as he got damage as he comes through the castle. No, oh, yeah. Well, certainly got damage now, and another victim of the castle. I think he must have damaged his wing originally at turn 7. Maybe frustrated with his lap seemingly being blocked by D-Max, and Benny Buno will bring it round to the pits and go again. So Man Like Donkey currently P18 as he heads through turn 1, I believe, turn 2, and he's on a hot lap. So we'll stick with Man Like Donkey, see if he can get a lap time set on these wet tyres. Some are more comfortable on the wets and some are gambling with the intermediates. The intermediates don't seem a great deal quicker. It's not day and night between them, so it'll be interesting to see what Man Like Donkey can do here on these wet tyres. So we've still currently got D-Max in pole and Gunnar in second, with Bogorowski in P3. The wet is really shaking the grid up in the midfield and should create a really interesting race if this is how it will stay. Bogorowski, difficult driver to overtake. Oh, we've got an Alpine. An Alpine is out. Who is that? Oh, so he's not out, but he's just off. Bit of front wing coming off Man Like Donkey there. He's messed his lap up. Flyer in the grid. Let's find out who's on a hot lap. D-Max is going again, and still on the intermediate tights there as he heads through the castle section. We'll try and get around the grid, see who else is on a hot lap. Relia going through sector 3 here, down the home straight. Let's see what time he can put in. Currently sat in P5 with a 1:57. Crosses the line to go P3, pushing Bog down to P4. That's with a wet tyre run. Let's have a look at Well Done Josh if we can. As he's going through sector 1, currently on a hot lap. Runs a little deep here, misses the apex and just misses the wall there. Currently P13 with a 2:04. Really looking to improve there by a few seconds at least. He's struggling in the wet and totally loses front wing, and he's not out of qualifying. You can get back round if there's time, but yeah, a few drivers struggling here today in these conditions. Got Benny Buno heading out again for a hot lap. As Man Like Donkey leaves the garage and heads out for another hot lap, hoping for a clean lap without damage. There's quite a few drivers there struggling. So you go Bogorovsky, currently P4, and as he comes through sector 3 on his outlap, he's so going through the grid. Still D-Max on pole with Gunnar, Reliot and Bogorovsky, and then Florian, Mr. Long and G-Infamous, who is out of the race, who set a 150 out of qualifying, who set a 159.3. Behind him Skipper, Composite, Wardy and Pepsi Lover, and No Judge, No Problem with Well Done Josh. Just behind him, yet to set a time, Benny Buno and Man Like Donkey, and where is Benny Bruno? Coming through sector 3 at the moment. So Bogorovsky looking to improve to on the P4, trying to get on the front row of the grid if he can. Switch to the intermediate tyres, and currently Wardy and Reliot still on the wets, but I imagine they'll be switching over to the intermediate tyres. So Bog saying hello there in the chat. Hello Bog, hope you're well, hope you're coping okay there in the racing chair, fighting through the pain. Right then, so where are we? So we will flick to... So Bogorovsky is currently in P5 as he comes through sector 3. Maybe get a tow from the car in front. Nicely done, gets plenty of traction out of there and begins the long journey towards the finishing line. So the final S-bend's done, and as he begins to get a bit of a tow here from No Judge No Problem. This could be tricky at turn 1 if No Judge No Problem is about to set a hot lap. So Bogorovsky up to P4. We will head round to Benny Buno if we can find him. Here we go. Currently in sector 1 on the intermediate tyre. So he's set a time of a 156.5. It's the first lap time he's set, and he's going again with these now warm tyres, trying to get onto pole position. Gunnar's gone fastest with a 154.6, beating D-Max. Oh, Benny Buno's lost it in the castle, got damage there with his front wing. Oh, he'll be absolutely devastated, but if it's a dry race, he can easily make up. He can easily do something from 5th. That's not a problem at all. Let's have a look at the track, who we got on track at the moment. So as Mr. Long has gone off now, both McLarens having trouble on these intermediate tyres. D-Max coming through sector 3, looking to get back on pole from Gunnar. He's going to need to improve his time by at least a second. So, and he does 153.8, putting him on pole position with Gunnar pushed down to P2. What's the race this week? Bogorovsky heading down the straight. Can he improve on his time? Oh no, he's already finished? No, he's already finished, sorry. So yeah, all drivers are finished at the moment. We had 6 retirements. Luckily G-Infamous and Composite retired after setting a time, so they are in the top 10. And Felix the Pirate disqualified. Not sure what for, but yeah. He's got a lot of work to do from the back. Bogorovsky says he will take P4. We knew he had it in him. He good solid driver, especially in the wet, and made the absolute most of it there. So come on, Bog, get some big points today and do it for LaRue and Cecile, Nell's mum. Let's have a good race today, and I'm not sure what the weather is. Let's ask Bog. Oh, hang on. What is going on here? So here we go, time for the race, and Baku is looking quite dry now after the wet qualifying session, as the drivers begin to pick their setup and what fuel they're going to be running and what tyres. So they've all got free choice of tyres, and I am not sure on the strategy here. I think that most will start on the mediums, and so yeah, let's get this underway, and we'll go through the grid as we load up. So starting off with the formation lap, and we can now run through the grid. So we've got D-Max 50 on pole once again, looking to get a race win this time after losing out last week. He's leading to Guna. He's had a great qualifying there, putting it on P2. Mr. Long just behind him for the McLaren. Another great showing there in qualifying from him. The main man, Bogorovsky, he's absolutely made up with his P4 as he is a bit of a master in the wet, and excelled on that lap, and hopefully can have a really good race there. Benny Buno, he'll be looking to get a really good start here into turn 1, trying to gain a couple of places so he can get up there with D-Max. Skipper just behind, a great qualifying from him, and then we have Reliot Florian, who can race this week. Good to have him on board, with G-Infamous just behind, who retired in qualifying, and along with Composite. P11, no judge, no problem, with Wardy just behind him, leading down to Pepsi Lover and Man Like Donkey. Both Aston Martins just behind in P15 and P16. They struggled in qualifying, and Nawuku, Grobari and Felix the Pirate. Felix Pirate got a bit of pace up there, definitely looking for a top 5 finish this week. Coming into this, qualifying's been a bit of a nightmare. They're getting a disqualification, not sure what for, but yeah, could gain some places here if he can have a clean race. So we'll head up front with the pole sitter, D-Max 50, as he begins to warm the tyres up. We'll get the menu on and see what people are running tyre wise. So it's a mixture of medium and soft throughout the grid. Been a bit of contact, I believe, on the 8 lap with several drivers there getting disqualified. and telemetry on. So here we go, as we begin to line up the grid. Hopefully no mishaps this time like we had last week, with Man Like Donkey being out of position and the game seemed to have a bit of glitch, but so far so good, as we just wait up for the last couple of cars at the back of the grid, as we await the lights. And here we go. Hang on, we've not seen the lights. Here we go, finally get the lights. So 4, 5 lights and they're out. Away we go, as D-Max gets a good start heading into turn 1, still keeps the lead. Both McLarens there. Oh, the McLaren of Benny Bruno looks like he must have damage as he collides with the wall. Guna remaining P2, Mr. Long, and so it's as you were for the top 5. There's a huge crash at the back. Oh, the Alpine is out of. Who's the Alpine? Pepsi Lover Pappy. He's out. Wow. And we've got Skipper out as well. Full safety car, debris all over the track. And welcome to Baku. This is what we do around here. There's always crashes, there's always action, and unfortunately for Skipper and Pepsi Lover, both out of the race before it even properly gets going. And so running through the grid after that quite hectic start, we've got D-Max retaining his first place with Guna and Mr. Long just behind. Benny Bruno's got past Bogorovsky, doesn't have any damage, I don't believe, as he made contact with the wall at turn 1. And let's have a look at the penalties if we can. Penalties, 5 seconds. So there must have been some contact there for these 5-second penalties. So a bit of a crazy start, and the place is gained. Felix the Pirate is gained the most so far, with gaining 6 places. And Skipper, unfortunately, the biggest loser there, from having a great qualifying to now being out of the race. And yeah, that's so unfortunate for him, as it's a great track. It's a great track to race on. Just got to try and be careful and bring the car home and avoid the damage. We've got several cars in the pit at the moment, with Wardy coming through there. We've got the McLaren of Benny Bruno. He must have suffered a little bit of damage then from turn 1. And we've got the Alfa Romeo of Elliott in there as well. Wardy getting a new front wing. Nawuku, he's now currently in P12, gaining 5 places. So an interesting start. It never fails to deliver. And Bogorovsky asking in the chat, how did I get a penalty? It's, you know what, let's have a look at the race director to see what has gone on. What has Bogorovsky been up to? 5-second time penalty, doesn't say collision, doesn't say anything like that. We'll have to review the footage and see what's gone on with that. So I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, Bogorovsky's going to have to pit and suffer that 5-second penalty, and maybe he could have pitted now and got rid of it, but he would lose his track position of P3, and hopefully he gets to pit under a safety car, and along with composite, and they can get rid of those penalties and not really suffer too much. What is my laptop doing? Ah, bear with me. You know, guys, I've been talking away and my microphone has been on mute. So here we go, we're getting ready for the restart, and we're on board with Mr. Long, seeing if he can get a good What's going on in the chat? Right, so the race is underway, and we are on board with Mr. Long, as I think they're all away cleanly. Sorry, they're just getting a bit, you know what, just got an idiot here in the chat, just spamming all the chat there. So, and right, back to the race, and see, we go heading up with D-Max. He's still in P1 there. He's managed to get a 1.2 second lead over Mr. Long. Bogorovsky's still there in P3, and whatever battles we've got going on. So we've got, oh, there's a huge battle down here heading into sector 3. Oh, contact there from, I think it was the Alpine of Grobau, with Florian flying past up into P9. It's a huge train down here from Business Hodges, who's got no front wing at all, slowing down the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo as the exit turn 16. Oh, and the Red Bull is off. Florian looks to be out of the race there, having contact, trying to get past the Alfa Romeo, and safety car again. No judge, no problem. Also without a front wing, got some major damage there. As the guys are all under delta, and so yeah, I think Bogrovsky needs to box this lap and get rid of that 5-second penalty with as less damage as he can. But he is on the mediums, so it is going to affect his strategy quite a bit. And man like Donkey now up to P4 with a gain of 10 places, which is absolutely brilliant for him. So 4 retirements at the moment. Groberi and Florian are the latest victims there on lap 4. Heading out of sector 3, down towards the big straight there, and I think Business Hodges having no front wing caused a few issues there for a couple of the drivers, and unfortunately for them, they are out of the race. And will Bogrovsky pit to get rid of the penalty? That is the big question, and that same goes for Composite as well. So Bogrovsky and Composite elect to stay out. May have been a good option to choose the hard tyre there, or maybe the softs before another set of mediums, like I said, just to get rid of those penalties if they could. Mr. Long currently in the pit looking for a new front wing and getting rid of his penalty at the same time. G Infamous also in the pit as well as he heads down. No front wing damage for G Infamous, just wants a new set of softs. It's 3 pit stops, so why not? And Mr. Long and G Infamous, they are exiting the pit, so they come out in P11 and P12. So you're another lap under the safety car, just 6 laps of the race so far with the second safety car at the moment. Hopefully the cars at the back can catch up and we can get a late call on this safety car to come in this lap, but I think it will be the next lap. So D-Max, he still remains in P1 out there on the medium tyre and stops. So the cars who haven't stopped at the moment are the top 4, along with Nawuko and Well Done Josh. Those 6 cars escaping any contact in the early starts of stages of the race, and can stick to their original strategy if there is no more safety cars. So we've got Composite coming in the pit. Like I said, good idea. Get rid of the penalty whilst you can. 5 seconds it's really punishing during the race, and as he opts for the medium tyre, switches up the strategy, and he can rebuild his race from here. And the Well Done Josh. So the Aston Martin Well Done Josh, who's pitted as well, is on the medium tyre now. So the safety cars will be in this lap. And for the restart this time, we will ride on board with Bogorovsky. See if he can get close to D-Max as he crosses the line. With the restart being on such a big straight, D-Max can pick any point he likes to go, and no doubt he'll be weaving to try and catch Bogorovsky off guard, to try and gain a couple of lengths and reduce the effect of the tow down into turn 1 as they come through the church section. So Man Like Donkey, after struggling in qualifying, up into P3 with 11 places gained, along with Nuiko with 12 places gained as well, having a clean race so far. So the safety car is in this lap as it pulls away up to the pit exit. D-Max puts his foot down, he gets away. A little bit of a gap down there to P3, but clean start so far. Not seen anything happening on track collision wise with Mr. Long though, just getting past G Infamous. Great overtake down into turn 2. Nuiko's decided to pit as the safety car was restarting, which is a bit strange, but we will jump head up front with Bogorovsky, who's trying to keep up with D-Max and doing a good job of that at the moment. Just behind we do have Gunnar right on the back of Man Like Donkey, both on the medium tyre, similar age as they come through the church section. So here we go, we ride on board with Benny Bino, currently in P6, 2 lap old mediums, in a really good position after a tricky start to the race and a tricky qualifying. Looking to gain a few places in the next few laps when the DRS activates as well. Bit of a gap forming there to Wardy, 2.5 seconds behind, so he is building a bit of a queue there behind him with a double overtake, with Benny Bruno getting past Reliot. Wardy trying to defend against G Infamous, who takes him there for P8. Wardy dropping back quite a bit on those soft tyres. There's Felix the Pirate, he's trying to gain a few more places as well. Up to P11, going for a stint on the hard tyres. Almost in the points there. It's just behind Business Hodges, and close battle at the front here. We'll stay on board with this, I think. The top 6 are in a bit of a league of their own at the moment, pulling away from the rest of the group, with Benny Bruno running wide there. Possible warning for that. So no DRS activated just yet. Man like Donkey hits the wall, losing his front wing, which causes chaos as Benny Buno runs into the back of Guna, who was slowing down because of Man like Donkey's incident with the wall. We've got another safety car, third safety car of the race, and Benny Buno pulls away there to make his pit stop to replace his front wing. Well done, Josh is retired as well. So currently 7 retirements after we're on lap 10 as the safety car exits the pits there. At this rate we'll be lucky if 4 cars finish the race, I think. Absolute craziness at the moment, and surely Bogorowski will pit this lap. I really hope he does, because he needs to get rid of that penalty, and he may as well do that under the safety car. So, oh my, D-Max drive-through penalties, speeding under the safety car. Usually I think that would wreck your race, but I think when you're racing at Azerbaijan, where absolutely anything can happen, he could serve his 10-second penalty and still end up back at the front at some point with another safety car. So he will be kicking himself for that. He's just misjudged the delta, or not realised it was on, and got the drive through. So absolute chaos at the moment. Losing 7 drivers already, drive-through penalties, 5-second penalties. D5 never disappoints. Absolutely never disappoints. It's always action packed, and it's always great racing as well. And so this all starts because of Man Like Donkey hitting the wall, causing a chain reaction of collisions, causing the safety car, and now D-Max has to pit. I hope he's not thinking he can do the drive-through under the safety car. He will have to do that once the safety car is ended. But he's on the fresh tyres now, and his tyre strategy is good for the race, and he will need to select another compound at some point and carry out his drive-through as well. And the main man is leading the race, Bogorowski. Gets out of trouble, kind of, as a penalty, but looking like he really doesn't want to give up that track position. And you know, if you give up the track position and you end up towards the back, you can then end up in other forms of trouble as well, especially on this track. Only takes one mistake from somebody and your race is absolutely over. So Bogorowski happy to stay up front there, leading the race, and so far, touch wood, having a brilliant season. And like we said, he's had a brilliant qualifying there in the wet, made the absolute most of that scenario with several drivers struggling. And Guna still up there in P2, had an absolute solid qualifying and solid race. Again, sensible driver staying out of trouble. Reliot up there in P3, and with a gain of 4 places, another solid race from him. And towards the back, we have Felix the Pirate, still trying to make gains in this race. From here, he will be aiming for a top 5 place, you'd think, and just needs to stay out of trouble with no damage. And hopefully he can get some big points. So the safety car is in. That caught me napping, I didn't realise, and we're on board with Guna, who's in P2. as the cars look like they all get through turn 1 pretty cleanly. Gunnar on the medium tyres as he got the heat into them, as we jump down with Benny Buno in P7 just behind D-Max, his possible title challenger here with a drive-through penalty, looking to put him under pressure before he has to serve that. And so far it's nice and clean on the restart, just 12 cars remaining as we head through sector 2 with Bogorovsky still in the lead. And so we have a Williams of Nawuku. I think oh no, is it the Haas? The Haas has been in trouble, and no damage. As Bogorovsky leaves the pack through sector 3, and Gunnar is still behind there, keeping up on those medium tyres. Just G Infamous and Benny Buno at the moment on those softs. 1 lap old softs for Benny Buno, so he'll be looking to get a move on as soon as he can, as he approaches this pack just ahead of him. D-Max, he should pull away and do his drive through as soon as he can, with no DRS being activated at the moment. He chooses not to do that. As we jump back on board with the race leader, Bogorovsky, 12 lap old mediums. So far so good for him. Mr. Long just behind with, oh, so he's got past Gunnar, who is now in P3 in the Alfa Romeo. And as you were, Gunnar in Rally in P4, and D-Max gets past him, trying to gain some places before he serves the drive-through. And sector 1, yellow. So the Aston Martin, Business Hodges, he's lost his front wing, maybe made contact with the Haas, I'm not sure. Is so coming through the castle section on board with Gunnar, with D-Max just behind him there, and looking to get his P2 back if he can. And on all the tyres than Mr. Long, he's 4 lap older mediums. Will D-Max box this lap? I believe he has 3 laps to do it, to do the drive-through. Will be absolutely kicking himself for that mistake, but he just has to get it done and crack on with the rest of the race. Leave some space. Nearly making contact, but he's blocking the pit lane there for D-Max. He can't. Yeah, he does manage to do that safely. That could have been quite dangerous as he comes in to serve his drive-through. Bogorovsky still out the head with Mr. Long right up behind him. I think the DRS may be enabled now, as it is, as he opens the rear wing, getting that extra speed down the straight, looking to go down the inside of Bogorovsky. Keep it clean, guys. Little bit of wheel banging, but that's perfectly fine with the Ferrari now down into P2 as Mr. Long tries to pull away from that trailing pack. Benny Buno down here in 4th. He's right on the back of Gunnar and Bogorovsky, desperate to join his teammate up there at the front of the grid. Quite tight to it. Benny Buno right on the back of Gunnar, pulling away from Reliot, and the top 4 in a little league of their own at the moment as they pull away. D-Max down there 11th, served his drive-through penalty, got a lot of work to do from there. Benny Buno, he's made the move on Guna. He's up into P3. Guna defending, trying to defend around the outside there, as Benny Buno lines up his next target of Bogorovsky, as he will get the DRS, opens the rear wing and begins his move, which he should do rather comfortably. So both McLarens, oh, Guna nearly hits the back of Bogorovsky there. Both McLarens P1, P2. This race is looking really good for them. D-Max up to 10th place now, as we jump on board with Composite, who's just behind Felix Pirate, who's got himself up to P6. As I think he begins to pull away from Composite there. Benny Buno chasing down his teammate on the faster tyre, of course, 4 laps newer and soft tyres. Oh, hang on, I've missed something. Apologies for that, as I believe Benny must have had damage. I looked away for 2 minutes, come back on, and Benny Buno was was struggling there with damage. So I'm not really sure what happened. He must have just made a mistake. Felix the Pirate up to P4 now, as he begins to chase down Bogorovsky. He's on those fresher tyres as well, so the Alpine doing really good in the race. And so going through the grid, as so far, I mean, we've got Mr. Long up front, 4 seconds clear of Guna after Benny Buno's mistake. Bogorovsky P3. D-Max making his way back up there. He's currently in P7, looking to rescue a podium after getting the drive-through under the safety car. Apologies, keep getting distracted. And so yeah, so we got D-Max, he's up into P6 at the moment, looking to hunt down Composite for that P5 position. Felix the Pirate gaining on Bogorovsky each lap, just 1.1 second behind, really closing the gap as they come into turn 1. So this is a podium position fight with the Ferrari driver as they go through sector 1 at the moment. Composite just behind and having a really good solid race. Unfortunate for his teammate Skipper out of the race and affecting the Mercedes Constructors challenge there, and this bunch is beginning to close up quite a lot now, with Bogorovsky being the first car of a little train. No, sorry, he's not far behind Guna there. So Guna P2 with Bogorovsky just behind, who's got another penalty. Has he got? No, so he's not got a penalty. Sorry, it's the original penalty. He's on 16 lap old mediums, which are going to begin to struggle now, I think. I'm not sure what the tyre deg is like on this, but yes, we've got Wazoo in the chat saying, "Come on, Bog." Yeah, we're all cheering on Bogorovsky here. trying to hold on to that podium. Still needs to pit with Felix the Pirate all over the back of him as they come down the main straight. And he gets the move done quite comfortably there, with Composite approaching Bogorovsky as well. Composite decides not to dive. He waits for the DRS, with Gene Infamous setting the fastest lap of a 1:42. As he opens the DRS, he has a look, but sensibly just tucks him behind again. Bogorovsky is a good defender of his position as they begin their run up to Sector 2, and right behind on his gearbox. He'll wait patiently for the next DRS as Felix the Pirate now mounting a challenge on Gunnar, exiting the castle. Also looking for that DRS up the next straight. As Composite loses a little bit of time to Bogorovsky there as he exits the castle, losing the back end a little bit. And D-Max is closing in on Composite. He's getting ready to join this podium battle at the front, with Mr. Long 3.4 seconds ahead, comfortably in the lead as it stands, as Composite gets a good run on Bogorovsky, as Felix the Pirate is already getting the move done on Gunnar down the straight. And that is comfortably in the bag as we go back with Bogorovsky, who decides to pit. It's time to get rid of those 17 lap old mediums and get rid of that penalty as well, as Composite pits at the same time, which pushes D-Max. D-Max is now up into P4. You can see he's got his sights on a podium as he begins to chase down Gunnar, who is just been overtaken by Felix the Pirate, who is now up into P2. Can Felix the Pirate close the gap on Mr. Long? So, lap 19, eventful race so far with 7 retirements, and we have Mr. Long currently out in the lead still by 3.4 seconds. Felix Pirate on fresher tyres just behind, extra 5 lap fresher mediums, aiming to close that gap as he pulls away from Gunnar, who is in 3rd place, and D-Max ever closer and looking to get this move done. I don't think he'll get it done here, but on the next DRS straight he should be able to get that done. So now Wuku want to jump on board here. He's heading into the pits. He's having a great race so far, and Benny Buono is just at turn 1, looking to recover from his mistake earlier. And so Waz is telling me the tyre deg is really high here. I've had no practice so far, so I have absolutely no idea. And so Bogorovsky looks like he's done really well to get to 17 laps on the mediums, leaving just 9 laps for the soft stint. Hopefully they can work well for him, give him that bit of extra pace he needs to get back up there and gain a few places. The 5-second penalty is absolutely cost Bogorovsky massively here, and So heading towards the front, Felix Pirate is cutting the gap down to Mr. Long in the McLaren, with D-Max doing the same behind him. Gunnar still within touching distance there in P4, 2 seconds behind, but he needs to make his first stop. He's on 17 lap old mediums, which will be struggling around about now, I think, as he comes down, and he should be pitting, I think, unless he's waiting for another safety car. So he enters the pits, and D-Max is pitting as well, I imagine, for the soft tyre. Mr. Long is pitted also as Felix Pirate takes the lead. Felix Pirate can go to the end on those mediums, currently 14 seconds ahead, and does not need to stop again. This could be an absolute blinder from Felix. Nearly 14 seconds ahead of G-Infamous, and just needs to keep going on these tyres, look after them, bring the car home, and with a bit of luck he can get the race win for himself. And after a tricky race last week, as he heads through the castle section and into sector 3, looking around the track, see if there's any close battles anywhere, and we've got the current, say, title contenders after one race, as D-Max and Benny Buno are P5 and P4. D-Max needs a good result here to keep that challenge and the pressure on Benny Buno. Pen for Mr. Long. Oh, I didn't see that, was I? Didn't see it. So Mr. Long, penalty of 5 seconds. Must have been speeding in the pit lane, I think, as D-Max heads down the straight. Just 1.3 behind. Currently no close gaps on the track. The DRS just opening all the cars over a second at the moment, as Felix the Pirate pits. Felix the Pirate is out. Wow, what has happened there? So he's lost it at turn. He's lost it on the pit exit. He's pitted for the soft tyres and lost it on the exit. Lost his front wing. Felix could have stayed out. Felix could have ran to the end, I believe, and won the race. Oh, yeah, he's no grip on the front tyres at all, with no front wing, really struggling. So unfortunate for him. So it stands, we've got D-Max looking to get past Benny Buno here. He's on the softer tyre. Benny Buno, 8 lap old mediums, squirming through the castle section, looking for grip. Doesn't have the grip that D-Max has as they fight for this final podium place here. Into sector 3, avoiding the big curve. Benny Buno just catches it a little bit, pushes him wide towards the wall, as D-Max keeps up the pressure. We jump on board, see if D-Max can get this move done here with the DRS. It should be easy enough. There's no need to defend as D-Max gets through, and the McLaren is gaining on Benny Buno, his teammate. Mr. Long there in P5 on the soft tyre, looking to get past his teammate. So we have a little train developing, both McLarens with the DRS. I very much doubt there is team orders at this stage. Mr. Long wanting to beat his teammate this week. He's got a great chance to do that on the soft tyre. Head down Bogorovsky, unlucky to have the penalty earlier on. It's ruined his race a bit, as he would have been right up there with Composite at the moment. And yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. Down the grid, the gaps are quite big down here. Felix is pitting again to obviously get a wing put back on, and fresh softs. He needs a safety car, but I doubt at this stage that there's going to be another one. Gianfirst looking pretty comfy out there. He's 7 lap old mediums in P1. Also, D-Max is taking a look at Reliot. He's on the faster tyre and should get it done down this straight. And Benny Buno, oh, Mr. Longa's got past Benny Buno. So Benny needs a good exit here to try and stay within the DRS of his teammate. Easily done there for D-Max. Whilst they're asking why did Felix pit, I'm not sure. I thought he could have stayed out. He may have had some damage, I'm not sure. As D-Max up to P2 and now looking for that race victory. As even with the drive-through, he's still looking like the man to beat on the fresher tyres. He's got 3 laps to get past Infamous, and he should get him down the next straight. Oh, has he got damage? Brushes the wall there as they come out of turn 4. Doesn't look like he's lost an M play. I'm not sure if he's damaged, got any low damage on that wing or not, but just needs to be careful there. He doesn't need to hurry up this this move past Infamous, who is on the slower tyre. So Mr. Longy does have a penalty, 5 seconds, speeding in the pit lane. That does obviously wreck his chance of a podium, and he's gonna lose the place to his teammate as well as it stands. D-Max, he is in DRS at the moment. He should get a better exit down here on that softer tyre. Is he close enough to get the move done? I doubt it, but he'll definitely get him on the next DRS straight. Benny Buno right behind his teammate now, Mr. Long, who again is carrying that penalty. Benny Buno just misses the wall there, and D-Max is still on the back of G-Infamous. So 25th lap, 8 of 26 in this race, where it has been full of safety cars and full of incidents. Losing, I think we lost 8 drivers in total now. Lost 8 drivers, and most of them was in the first 6 laps. As a few laps ago, Felix Pirate looked nailed on to win this race, and unfortunately lost it coming out of the pit lane, and is now in P11 outside the points. As we come through sector 3, as D-Max is a little bit closer on this lap, as he wants to line up the move for G-Infamous for this P1 position. Yeah, this will be a simple move now. He should get he's getting the tow and the DRS, so this will be P1 for D-Max, and I really doubt G-Infamous will be able to reply on that softer tyre as he glides past third down the home straight to begin the final lap of the race. As they come through turn 1, D-Max gets a better exit there, and same again in turns 2 as they head up towards sector 2. And Benny Buno still behind Mr. Long, doesn't need to overtake him. with Mr. Long's penalty. Ideally, he wants to get past both of these guys if he can. Get that final podium place. He's going to give it everything he's got on this lap as he runs a little wide there, scraping the wall on the exit. As they approach the castle section, Reliot, 9-lap-old mediums, struggling for traction there as the brand new softs behind of Mr. Long. So D-Max 1.5 seconds ahead. Looks to have the win in the bag at the moment. Up for grabs this final podium position, but Mr. Long with that penalty won't be able to have it even if he overtakes Reliot, as your race winner is crossing the line, which is D-Max. He's won this race, and after P2 last week, looks like a serious contender for Division 5, with G Infamous in P2 and Reliot holding on to that P3. Benny Buno moves up to P4 due to Mr. Long's penalty of 5 seconds. It knocks him down to P5, with Composite down there in P6. Had a solid race with Bogorovsky, P7. He wanted points before the race, and he's certainly got that today, and just a bit unfortunate with an early 5-second penalty. Now Wuku, a solid race again, struggled in qualifying, P8 for him. Guna, he was up there all race, but obviously his late pit stop knocked him down the order. Wardit, good race from him, didn't finish last week but got into the points this week with P10, and Felix the Pirate rounds them up in P11. Sees the podium with D-Max on the top step. G Infamous, Bogorovsky's teammate there on the second step of the podium, with Reliot there on the third step. And that completes the podium for today's race, and here's how it looks after the race. Just one penalty there at the end for Mr. Long, and a solid race from all guys, with multiple safety cars in this race early on as well, and it provided yet another interesting race in Division 5. So that is the race for today. Thank you for joining us, and feel free to jump across to watch the Division 1 race that has just happened, and that is on Delta T Racing YouTube channel. As we will be back tomorrow with Division 4 and Division 2, I think it is. So yeah, so you look after yourselves, and we will see you tomorrow.